Hey Chew Crew, I am here in Davenport, Iowa at Front Street Brewery, and I am here to take on their 5-pound pulled pork nacho challenge, and I am thrilled. I've got 30 minutes to devour all of that. If I can do it, the meal's for free, I go on their coveted wall of fame, and I get an awesome t-shirt to add to my growing collection. Should I lose, not only do I pay the $35 tab, I go up on their wall of shame. So looking to avoid that and attain eternal food glory here at Front Street. Let's dive into some nachos.
5 pounds of nachos.
All right, let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Guy Convinces His Wife and Kids to Watch Him Quickly Eat a Bunch of Food. To help y'all follow along with my progress, I'll be putting up little nacho icons every 10% of the way through the challenge I go. I call it my NACHO-METER. As you can see from this tray, it has mounds of different ingredients. Let me break all 5 pounds down for you. It starts with a full pound of their homemade tortilla chips. So to put that in perspective, a party-sized bag of tortilla chips is just shy of 14 ounces. So an absolutely huge amount of chips. On top of that, there is 2 pounds of their succulent pulled pork slathered in barbecue sauce. Next up is a ton of nacho cheese, roasted corn, pickled jalapenos, and pico de gallo, all topped with their delicious lime sour cream sauce. So if you noticed on the wall of fame, there are only 6 people that have defeated this challenge. The notable few, you can notice Randy Santel, Katina Eats Kilos, Bandana Eats, and Nathan Klein, who has set the record at 14 minutes, 47 seconds. So I'm going to give a fellow Michigan Tech alumni a run for his money and throw his countdown clock on the screen as well. So the question was, how does one go about eating 5 pounds of pulled pork nachos? The strategy I went with was making sure that the chips didn't slow me down. I knew they were going to be very salty. I knew they were going to be very dry. So I wanted to make sure that I was reserving some of the toppings, which you can see there's 4 pounds of toppings. So I tried to keep that ratio of I wanted 4 times as many toppings as chips in every bite, or at least as close to that as possible. And fortunately, that did not disappoint. I was concerned that I was going to blow through all the toppings to try to get the drier chips down. Early on in the challenge, that wasn't too much of an issue. Later on, you might see a little bit different, but at least for this first 5 minutes of the challenge, I was really just enjoying all the different flavors. All of them worked together so well. The creaminess of the lime sour cream sauce, the barbecue sauce was nice and rich and sweet, and all of that pico de gallo helped cut through a lot of the heaviness of the pulled pork. Speaking of sauces, you're gonna really enjoy next week's video. I did something a little bit different. This is an in-home challenge that the kids helped me out with quite a bit. We had a lot of fun filming it. It was pretty darn cute. There's a teaser clip at the end of this video for next week's challenge, but don't forward ahead just yet. I've got at least 3 more pounds of nachos to devour, and I've already hit my weekly sodium intake. So at this point, we're about 25% of the way through the time limit, and I'm close to halfway done with this nacho platter. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to keep up the pace, and I started realizing that I had been misappropriating my toppings. And I was noticing that there were starting to be a lot more chips on this latter half of the tray, or at least I'd burn through a lot of the toppings on that second part. So fortunately, they did provide a cup of salsa, and I definitely leveraged that to get these piles of chips down to try to keep up that pace. I'm gonna crank up the tunes now and let you watch to see if I crunch my way to victory or fail and end up feeling saltier than a tortilla chip. Oh yeah, the Brew Pub also serves beer. There are a few different ones that really caught my eye, but I ultimately settled on their Pineapple Radler, which I was very impressed with. It was very sweet, that really nice pineapple flavor came through beautifully, but it was still pretty clean, pretty crisp. It paired really well with the nachos, especially cutting through the rich pulled pork. Fortunately, I didn't have to rely on liquids too much up to this point with all the toppings that were helping get everything down, but it was definitely a very enjoyable beer nonetheless. Nathan, your record stays. I wasn't paying attention. I should have powered through the last couple bites, but you get to keep the record for now. I guess I have to make another trip back to Davenport and eat 5 more pounds of nachos to try to take your title. Oh, 15 minutes, 6 seconds. I completed this delicious nacho challenge. Could have probably shaved off a little bit of time, but as Randy Santel says, leave no doubt, which by the way, Randy finished in about 22 and a half minutes. So I consider that pretty darn good that I finished in the time I did, crushing his time like a tortilla chip, which made the crowd go wild. So for defeating the challenge in under 30 minutes, I got my meal for free, an awesome t-shirt, and I get to join some illustrious colleagues on the Wall of Fame. A big shout out to the staff as well for making this a memorable experience. And if you don't want to try a full plate of nachos, I hear their tots are also pretty good.
Dad, you can actually my tots. Your dad.
And with that offering of a ranch-soaked tater tot, I'll be signing off. So thanks for tuning in, and as always, stay hungry. Henry, Amelia, fire up the totinometer. We present to you the totinometer, patent pending. All right, Henry, you ready? Not too fast.
No.
Slow down, slow down. Oh, the humanity. Is that mayonnaise? Oh.